the integrity scope of the country. But looking at it equally, corruption is a moral and integrity swap situation. People will replace their integrity with corruption. Like what Mr. Amar was saying, Alpha was saying. Somebody could be paid 10 million, 15 million, 30 million, and the same person is exposed to a huge chunk of money, to an opportunity that commands huge money. That person will take the opportunity, will take the advantage. Now I am playing with more than, you understand? I have to. They want to leave the status quo of the office. Some people look at it, I am working in this form, so I should be living amongst those counted as brass in the community. We want to sit at entertainment centers. If my guys are spending 1 million, I must hit my chest to tell them I can spend 10 million in a flash. So so it is an integrity problem. It is a moral problem. It is not a professional. It is a moral problem. Okay. Because if you have the morale around you, you have integrity in you, you will be paid 1,000 leons, but go home very satisfied. You understand? More than somebody who is paid 10, 20, 30 million. Who hasn't got morals, who hasn't got integrity. And if we look at, sometimes we look at anti-corruption being a bit slow, you understand, a bit slow in investigating. My brother, the culture of silence in this country has led to the snail pace of the commission. Sometimes people report corruption issues, and these guys are not magicians. You understand? Even when kids, let's say things get missing in our homes, what do? You start to look at people in a pidgin dialect, that thief, not to meet thief. Then you say, okay, I defend out. People will start to, you thief, you thief. You understand? So it's not out of magic. Even the greatest psychologist cannot tell me what I am thinking at this moment. So for communities to report, sometimes they will say, I don't want to make person come off from me. I don't want to be the cause of somebody's downfall. Failing to realize that it is the same resources that we are all supposed to have shared that has been embezzled by just one person or a group.
So are you insinuating?
I am now saying
there is a problem of ownership in the fight.
I am now saying it is national ownership. We should own this fight as a nation and not politicize it. Because I am coming, my brother. Some of the times when names are named, people will say, now when our opposition they did. People will say, no, now they're ruling party, they're not good. So we start thinking more, even faster than the investigation could go. And for somebody to be indicted, that thing, we call it the corruption allegation must have reached a threshold for that person to be indicted. And if it doesn't reach that threshold, there is a ceiling set, and when that thing reaches that point, then you now start to see if it is a misappropriation of public funds.
I want to get this straight here, Mr. Blackie, just so for clarity's sake. A short while ago, you were talking about the problem of ownership. All right, and culture of silence.
Silence.
What you said in your words. And now you are talking about reaching threshold. I want to know straight here. Is it that people don't have sufficient evidence, to actually substantiate their claims or allegations? Is that what you're insinuating? Or people are not talking at all?
There are several factors. There is one we call the fear factor. Let's assume you are working with me in an office, and I am your superior. You understand? There is an allegation of me having misappropriated some quantum of money, or the abuse of position or the abuse of office and some other things, as per the Anti-Corruption Act. You understand? And amended in 2019, 2008 and 2019. You understand? And now you're asking staff members, subordinates to this somebody to come and report. You understand? Some will start to look at, one, do I really have the security? Will SCC provide me the security? Should I come out to speak? Won't they expose my identity? So we still need much more education to talk to the mindset of people. I am coming.
Sure,
I am coming.
Their protection is guaranteed.
I am coming. But some people will still not.
Can I please grease the elbow of my colleague on that particular issue?
Okay.
And I think the success of the fight of what ACC hinges on awareness.
Okay.
Hinges on awareness. You see, as a country, if we want to make or want to maximize our impact, or the success stories with regards to fight against corruption, it boils down to awareness. Because I like the other approach of the ACC that they put more premium on convert than convict.
Okay.
Convert, yes. So trying to prevent is like creating this awareness. Because like what you were saying in terms of what somebody trying to prosecute his or her superior and all the rest of it. But when you talk to the commission, the commission tells you that they have what they call confidentiality. So confidentiality. If this is the situation, you tell the commission or whosoever, the investigators, that this is my situation, and I want you to protect me.
Okay.
And again, whatever the commission does has to do with law. And law, they tell you, is not an event but process.
Process, yeah.
So there comes in the snail paste or sometimes.
So true.
But what creates this mixed feeling is all about being selective and all the rest of it. Because all of us have a right to our opinions.
Yes, and that is a biggest problem.
There are many times people are saying, when the commission was to investigate Mr. X, Mr. B, they speedily did it and blah 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 and all the rest of it. So what we are saying is, let there be a fair game. Let there be a fair game. And no sacred cow.
That is a problem.
If this thing has to do with this person, let it be investigated and let the process be open.
Okay.
So people to see
again,
just like what you said
again,
that it is forbidden or it is not. I will not settle for it to have any political undertone.
Okay.
And again, Nimuhe, what I am saying here is there is a relationship between gains made by the commission and community participation in reporting of crimes, corruption-related issues. Because if you bring out the system, you tell me, or you tell the commission. Let's say I get to a community and I hear something. If there is an allegation and I know there are elements, there are factors that constitute a corrupt practice. You understand? I'll boldly come to the commission and tell the commission I have a report. Not all people have the courage, and in such a way, some people, in fact, for a layman to tell that layman that there is confidentiality, some will say, they want you to prove beyond every reasonable doubt.
Yes.
You understand?
You have to provide the evidence.
And again,
just that. Before that, gentlemen, we saw clearly where revelations are being made by one of us Sierra Leoneans who stays abroad. The African Express. On the social media, you are following the revelations is making and allegations, so to speak, were against the government of the day and ministers. Okay, and again we saw Abdul Tawar in the House of Parliament, his own whistleblowing.
Okay,
and all of these the commission has been always looking forward to people blowing whistle on corruption here. And I saw on the other hand the response from the commission, especially the commissioner, in his words, paraphrase, that everybody has his own fish, or fishes for the commission to fry, and it doesn't work like that. So in all of these things, you see some other people making effort to make revelations, and the commission say, okay, we want people to come on board, we want people to be actually coming up reporting cases, of corruption. But it's this issue, of why you don't have sufficient evidence, or we see people coming out, they say no, it's like you have your own fish, you have your own interest, and someone else said to say no, this is politically motivated. In all of these, but you see the complexity.
But you see,
around the fight.
You see, Alusign, what the commission says that nobody is willing to fight corruption when corruption turns
when the
to
arrow
him or
points
her,
to that person. No.
Yeah, like we are all practicing journalists.
Okay.
Yeah, we are all practicing journalists.
Yeah.
So let's say, like we attended one training session.
Okay.
And there was that critical session.
Okay.
In that training. Like the scenario is, I am practicing journalism, and I have my uncle, who is our breadwinner.
Okay.
He pays or he does everything for the family, and that person
Gets trapped in the
fine, or that person get trapped in the ACC nets.
Okay.
How can you report this one as a practicing journalist? So you see, the commission will tell you that when corruption has to do with somebody, that person will not be willing to fight the fight. So there comes in the area. Everybody has his or her fish or whatever. When you want to fry your fish, you want to do it carefully.
And looking
all
at,
the rest of it. So if we are taking sentiment in the fight, to me we are fighting a
losing battle.
A losing battle. If we try to be selective.
I have a problem with the Africanist press. Go Google and check his publications back in 2009 to date. You will see that little was said, nothing was said around the illegal sacking of the vice president. Then, Samson Mana, nothing. You understand? And a host of corrupt issues we are going on in this country.
So are you saying he's selective?
That is it. That is exactly, because I have been following him on Twitter, even on Facebook, and most of the times I comment on his posts. Do you know why? Just like what you're saying, when the pointer points at you, you will not want anybody to talk about it. You just want it to die a natural death. You understand? And Africanist press came up. This young man came up, bringing, they came in a rapid form, going in for the commission, going against the auditor general, going against the office of the president, the office of the first lady, and they said, okay, anti-corruption said, fine.
Did you say go against? Is that your word?
That was, yes, because
Why?
if you want to bring them out by every means, you said I have the transaction list or document from the bank, and fine. The commission said, fine, we are now going into the office of the first lady. But we'll have to make a reference. We have to have a reference point to start up from. If you're talking about this, then we have to go back to the former first lady to see what was given, you understand, to her, and how she used the money, so we can draw a reference point. You understand? They said, no, you don't need to go back. It was like they were dictating to the commission. And that's not like that. We have to give a free hand to the commission to do its job. And as Sierra Leoneans, as Sierra Leoneans, we need to look at like what we are saying, the integrity swap I spoke of.
Okay.
When it is like the critical scene you presented.
Okay.
Because it's my uncle, I will not want to expose
That uncle.
That uncle, and that deals with integrity. You understand? It deals with objectivity. Am I objective in my job? Do I have integrity?
Are you helping the commission and the
You
nation?
are now going to help the commission to explain. If it is me, I will tell you, yes, commission, this pa, Naiwoko, we are trust. Because if we want to have this country moving on a better footing, not on a flat tire, if we want to have this country going on the inflated tires, you understand, not deflated tires, then we should stand out distinctly to speak the reality, and not because we have been denied one or two opportunities, then we start to say that principal dey na thief man, or that manager he don't thief. At the end of it all, you cannot prove it. You understand? So we need to tell the commission the truth, and those subordinates.
But the issue about proof or no proof, you cannot really substantiate whether what
so it
the
is
man
now,
is doing
now,
is giving or evidence. Because
now we are talking about
and actually for which it has not been clearly denied whether it is true.
That is why now the burden of proof rests upon the person that is accused. Now, if you go through the amended act, you will now see that the burden of proof Before this time, they will have to go in and out. Now the burden of proof rests on you.
Okay,
to prove that you are not corrupt.
Gentlemen, we can continue this discourse later, on the anti-corruption and the President Bill's report at the UN 32nd session of the United Nations General Assembly, last Tuesday. And now there is this story here, the next story. I think we have less than 30 minutes for this now, where we see the health minister clearly stating that Sierra Leone, it would take a century to have the required number of doctors needed to adequately service the current population. Noting that right now Sierra Leone produces 50 doctors a year. We need about 5,000 doctors. So at that ratio, it will take us 100 years to get to where we want to be. What does this statement, in your view, mean for our health system?
It's provocative.
How so?
You understand?
Yeah.
If we really want to have the doctors, we should start making the provisions. Do we have scholarships that will encourage more people to go in for the sciences, pure sciences?
I think they have STEM courses now that apparently, according to the ministry here,
and some more things need to be done. Some better things need to be done. Because if we are talking about 100 years means in 21, and you will not be around. I wouldn't be around. Nobody after 100 years, to be very honest with you, will not be around.
To me, it sounds worrisome.
That is what I'm saying.
It sounds worrisome. Worrisome in the sense, I'll start to question certain areas. Parameters used to say that annually the enrollment is 50. Why? Why 50?
Not enrollment, it's said produce.
Oh, produce.
Yes, that
okay.
Graduating doctors.
Okay. So it's like if we want to do something contrary to what he has projected, because what he has projected, with due respect to him, sounds worrisome. Because you can only have a healthy nation when you have healthy people. Yeah, but unhealthy people, that is equal to unhealthy nation. So if we are to have the numbers of doctors that can treat the country, and that is
after needs 5,000.
After 100 years,
they said the country needs 5,000.
The country needs.
Yes, 5,000. So we are producing only 50.
We are producing 50. So what can we do? What is responsible? What is responsible for that institution providing 50 annually? What is responsible?
Again.
Why can't they revisit the what? The criteria? The criteria to produce doctors. What is responsible for them just to produce 50? Because mind you, although we want more doctors, but we are not interested in quantity rather than quality. Yes, because we don't want these people to be killing us. We don't want, so we want them to have reasonable criteria or parameters so that we can have the projected number. But when you check, we have clinicians or we have other people, we have other medics. So it's like, but to me, I am not a medical practitioner, but what I see is they have strong words. They have strong criteria and some other things. We I have seen. I have seen colleagues
just now that we need quality.
We need quality.
Yes, how the criteria set just part of the quality they want to produce, isn't it?
Well, I can't say yes.
We have our brothers and sisters who have gone to commerce who already find it quite difficult. Some of them don't even complete.
Difficult. This is what I want to say. So what I'm saying here in simple terms, if they can make some of this criteria flexible,
including the fee.
But I've seen and also I've had from friends saying that during their courses at that particular place, it is not pleasurable. Yes, they find it very difficult. Most of the times you see guys dropping dropping out of the course just because they cannot cope up in terms of monetary, in terms of tuition, and some other challenges.
Okay.
So if they want to meet that particular projected number, to me they have to revisit certain parameters or certain things so that
Yes,
our brothers who want to
Joseph, wait on,
who want to be medics, they can easily go through the course, and at the end of the day, we can have the projected number. That is 5,000.
Yeah, but in fact, what the minister for that was that Joseph, he proposed that he would like to train 200 doctors a year, from 50 to 200, so an additional 150. That's what he wants to do, and the strategy, one of which he says he wants to now expand beyond just College of Medicine producing doctors. He wants Jella and Unimac to be producing doctors too.
To be very honest with you,
as
myself being one of the statisticians of this country,
okay.
I will say it boldly. Here, let us look at population growth. Is it telling us we are going to be 7 million till 100 years? No. You understand? And as the years go by,
he says if the number remains like that,
no, it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be
50 doctors. No, it remains 50 doctors per year.
I am equally going to say
it will take 100 years.
And I am also going to say, if he's saying if means all other things being constant, means the population growth will be the same, will just have the 7 million and whatever exact, no shift, and remaining the 50. You understand? So, and we said the population growth as per against trained doctors will reach something like that, provided this remains the same. But also let us look at it. Let us go back to the drawing table and look at the curriculum. If we really want to have doctors, you understand? Imagine somebody going to from JSS 1 to study, to read 15 subjects. At the end of it all, this person is going to narrow it to something like 1 or 2.
Minor, major.
You understand? So why not look at the specifics? We want these doctors. The moment you get to JSS 3, you sit your becker, get into SSS, limit it to something like 2 or 4 subjects.
There comes in specialization.
That is what I'm saying. So we have career counselors to identify these ones. They will now have this somebody reading 4 subjects for the WASC. You understand? And this person will reduce it to something like you having chemistry, mathematics, and something to keep you in line with the doctoral programs you want to go for. Medical doctor. You understand? And now you will now have 50, 60 from one. Let's say you have 10 from one school, pure sciences, 10 from another school. So you end up having something like what? 2,000 across the country. Limited just to read 4 subjects. And looking at that one, taking into cognizance maths and English, then chemistry and whatever. You understand? Physics if you want to. Then you go for it. At the end of, let's say, 3-4 years, that person would have been perfected, if not 100%, in knowing how to do chemical bonding and whatever. You understand? Titration and any other thing. So that person would be very prepared too. And now look at the conditions laid. Imagine the humongous cost. Billions of leons spent to pursue this program. And just like what you were saying, some will drop along the road because of the costs involved. You understand? Some people are coming from poor homes. And even those coming from affluent homes. You understand?
It's difficult.
We'll find it difficult to say 30 million before you say the next day 20 million before you say, they will start to say, what sort of problem is this? So we are saying if government is looking at bringing this sort of situation, then we all need to come back to the table and redo and rethink. So we can go back to the curriculum and see how we can compress it than allowing somebody to read 9 subjects. At the end of it all, major, minor, you might come, you will not even use it. You will not use the agriculture you read in class in JSS 1. You're not using the social, the whatever you read in JSS 2. You understand? You came up with something to be very, because if you say you are going to study you're going to read linguistics, or you understand? If you started it from JSS 1, English pure, reading it, and you are not compelled to do 14 more added to it, My brother, by the time you say you reach SSS3, you'll be, if not 100% perfected in that thing. You will even sleep and wake up reading it.
Alusain, if we are to help the minister in this direction with regards changing the narratives of what he has projected, that 100 years, and the 100 years I was just saying, well, I will not be enjoying from this particular thing. All of us will not be enjoying from this particular thing. But we have to be selfless in whatever we do. So if we are to help the system come 100 years along the line, government needs to intervene, because what we are just saying here, the money for that particular cause is not a small amount. So let's say certain students who are doing this particular course, government coming in giving them scholarships, so that these scholarships can cushion the economic burden.
The granting aid is not open to everyone.
This is one. Joseph just spoke about revisiting the school curriculum. Yes, it is good. Somebody posted something on the Facebook, like what is making our educational system useless is like we the teachers teach pupils things that are not material. You go to class 1, they say fox jump over the lazy dog. What does that what does that mean to that particular child? So it's like when the thing is well tailored, we have the school curriculum, like Joseph said, we have major and we have minor. So that comes in specialization. Let's say from GSS level, you are able to what? To know your career. Know your career. You build on it.
You build on that.
And I'm not spending years. Then you do 12 subjects. You do and all of these things. At the end, what are you going to do? If you are going to become a doctor, you are just a doctor. What are you going to do with what?
You will not be dealing with the geography and the.
But when you look again for what educationists, they tell you that these things are all embedded, just because you being a medical doctor, having the background, fine nutrition and some other things.
But again, that could be put.
But really, if we have to change the narratives, to have doctors who can take care of the country, the number, I think if we are to increase, government needs to intervene. All of us, specifically the Ministry of Education, has to revisit the school curriculum.
There should be a collaboration between Ministry of Health and that of the Ministry of Education to sit and see how best we can do something. You understand?
All right.
More for the top. In fact, across the board, for every child.
And again, Ebola came. And
that it exposed the weakness of our health system. That was the point.
Exactly.
We saw the nakedness of our health system.
A good number
of doctors died,
during the.
So I mean, we even need more trainers of these doctors who want to produce in the country. And as they're trying to expand to the other universities, to be producing medical doctors, they will need more trainers too. And those who have left the shores of the country who are trained abroad, they should be thinking as well of coming to help their country.
Perhaps that will even encourage them to come back.
Having lucrative,
to come back and pay back.
Lucrative jobs created,
to embark on payback service.
Yes. But you look at it, people come here. The other day I was here speaking of this, the how do we call it? There is a Dr. Kanu that was brought to the government hospital. He had to pay his own, to look for lodging. You understand? He had to go out to pay for water every week, 250,000. And if these conditions are not made favorable, what do you think the person will do? The person will just pack the bundle and go away.
Back,
You understand? Until and unless we start to make the working condition very favorable, if not 100%, but somehow favorable.
The person to take the lead is the government.
That is what we are saying.
Yeah, It's a collective effort.
Effort, yeah.
Yeah, but we are expecting government to take the lead. Like we have people who are experts.
Okay.
So if they are coming to other train those who are interested in that particular area. I think they should provide the necessary facilities.
Okay, gentlemen, and the program is News Review on Radio News Song 97.7 in Bo. And in News Review, we bring you in-depth analysis of stories aired on this radio. And from Monday to Friday, our guests are from different walks of life who come here to exhaustively discuss stories aired on this radio and from the newspaper, each week. And today's program, we have Problem John Nugwike Favor Air Alpha is the regional, the special manager.
You have added Favor.
Reverend journalist.
God bless you.
Of Radio News Song FM 91.3 in Kono. I'm correct, right?
You are partially correct.
91.3.
Yes.
Okay, and of course we have Joseph D. Blackie, who is a PRO, Civil Society Body Street. Both of them are here to discuss around stories here on this radio. And now, gentlemen, time is not our friend here now as we speak, but then just in a couple of minutes, we see Aisha Johansson and Rod Edmond Michael withdrawing their candidature in upcoming SLFA presidential elections today. Just very close to the elections, we see, Aisha Johansson actually, they saying, well, I think I've got much more hectic task ahead as at FIFA. So at such, I would need to give the space now to the platform. Having 8 years, in serving as president, even though it was marred by so many, controversies and a lot of things there. And Edmond Maike for almost about 12 years, who has been actually nurturing this intention to become president of SLFA. And now we see both of them, they have eventually withdrew their candidature. What do you make of this in Australian football?
It's unfortunate again, because even the SLFA is marred by political interference.
Okay, that's taken to be an allegation, right?
There is no allegation. It's no allegation. There is no way I can euphemize it. There is no way I can euphemize it. You understand?
Yeah.
Because 1 minute they are at each other's neck. Another minute you see minister coming in. Another minute you see SLFA taking its own position as being superior to the Ministry of Sport. So a host of these back and forth situations. And you see some people being supported by one group. And the last one was Michael went to court.
Yeah.
You understand? And we saw him having the right.
Yeah.
And now the
eligibility.
And now the 11th
48 hours before.
And the 11th hour, he says, "Oh, na come for me. I don't want the TSF." So why do we take ourselves to? Why do we take people for granted? Why do we keep on fooling people? If you don't want this thing, keep aside and don't start dragging the country into something like a mess of such a nature. Wherein one day the name of Sierra Leone is on air, the SLFA is given the kind of name that is not worth having, and some other things. So what we are saying is,
no, Mr. Blackie, not that he didn't want it.
But why has he stepped down?
It's clear here, according to him.
My brother,
he must have smelt
just 48 hours after the decision.
He must have smelt that.
With just 48 hours, after the decision of the CAS, Court of Arbitration, he said he has found it extremely difficult to cope with the emotional, mental, and physical stress to be able to campaign extensively and adequately for such an election.
The best he could say, I have not got enough time to campaign. Rather than making it mental and emotional, is this a galleon? For us, we use all adjectives and things to fit our own convenience. And you understand? What we are saying here is as simple and straightforward. Let us give peace a chance. Let us allow this country to have a better footing in sports. You understand? Rather than
discussing this particular issue, I hope I'll do justice to it, because unfortunately I am not Gameson. Yes, unfortunately I'm not Gameson, and that tells you I've not been closely monitoring. But it has to do with the governance.
Yes, just before that, we have our sports reporter Paul, who is presently at SLFA grounds where the election will be held. Yes, Paul. Hello, Paul. Hello, Paul.
Yeah, good morning, Alusain, and pleasant morning to listeners of.
Yeah, news review. Yes, Paul, tell us what is exactly happening at your location. We see before the elections, Aisha Johansson and Rodney Edward Michael, we joined their candidature, towards the elections, and my guests are here, they're giving their bites on this decision. Tell us a little about this. Paul, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm getting you. Well, like you rightly said, this is the.
I think we have issues with the internet here. We are connecting him live.
Time.
Okay. Okay, Paul, go ahead. We can hear you. Hello, Paul. Okay, sorry, we cannot continue with him because of poor internet connectivity, unstable network. But then, you say something.
To follow the trend of my discussion, I was just saying that it's unfortunate that I am not Gameson. And that tells you I've not been closely following issues surrounding these two personalities vying for this particular position, this enviable position. But as a media practitioner, I think it has to do with the governance of what? SLAFA? You call it SLAFA, eh? Okay, so it has to do with the governance of SLAFA. For other country, it is but necessary for us to emulate good examples. But for us in this country, what I have been seeing is all about SLAFA's operations having a political undertone. You hear this person coming from this flank, you hear that other person coming from that flank, and all the rest of it. But if we are talking about sporting activities, it has to be professional. Let's have people who are grounded in this in certain areas to take responsibilities, to be at the helm of affairs. But having this person just because you have favored this person or compensating this person and all the rest of it, the football will not grow. And the football, which I know, few of us are only exempted because we don't find anything pleasurable in watching footballs and all the rest of it.
Just say you're not Gameson.
I am not Gameson. I don't know why. I've tried to join the bandwagon, but at any time I tried, I don't find anything worth discussing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't find anything discussing. What I want to advise is, it is but necessary for professionalism to be at play if we want the football of this country to grow from where it is, because it has been relegated. It has been relegated for far too long. You see people just battling. So sometimes I keep telling myself, no, it is no mistake I am not Gameson, because even these people, they are problematic. Football at even village level is problematic. Yeah. At village level, I cannot talk of cities and all whatever opinion you have to that particular expression. So I advise that the governance, a system of the football in this country has to be looked into thoroughly and see that the right thing is done. These two people withdrawing their candidature, it's something discretional. It's something discretional. For me, perhaps both of them have smelt the rats or some other things, and you started analyzing what is it mental, physical, emotional, or whatever.
Not ready. Yes, for the election because of the time.
You tell us.
He who wears his shoes knows where it pinches.
Yes.
So they are in the better place to tell us that they want to continue or they want to discontinue. But what I am saying here is the governance of SLAFA has to be looked into thoroughly so that the right thing is done.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. The program is in its review. I think he wants to have his bite on the program, but let's see what he has to say.
He might have gathered so many information.
Hello, Paul. Can you hear us?
Yeah, Alusa, good morning and pleasant morning to listeners of News Review on News Song Radio.
Okay, yes, you've been following on the show, and tell us, what say you about the SLF elections here?
Yeah, I'm following the program live from Makeni City. We arrived yesterday ahead of the elective congress of Sierra Leone Football Association. Today, a new president will be elected after incumbent Aisha Johansen, who almost, held the position as the president of the Sierra Leone Football Association for almost 8 years, because he assumed office in August 3rd, 2013, when he went unopposed. But her administration has been marked by several controversies from the football family, stakeholders, so many other stuff. But however, he initially contested again for another term, for a second term, running as the president of the Sierra Leone Football Association. But 72 hours towards the election, Aisha Johansen withdrew her candidature, citing her new appointment, her role as, member of FIFA, saying because her new role requires her, to travel a lot, and she will be very busy. So she apologized to her fans, supporters as well, that she thinks it's in the best interest. However, she's not going away. She will still be around to give our moral support in any way when needed. So she never actually made a public pronouncement that she is, endorsing anyone. But it is widely believed that, she is, maybe quietly in support of another contestant who is, or another candidate who is Thomas Daddy Brahma. Thomas Daddy Brahma, before now, 4 of them were in the race. After Emmanuel Safa Abdullahi, 5 of them initially were qualified. Emmanuel Safa Abdullahi, Aisha Johansen, incumbent, Sadiq Binyako, Rodney Michael, and Thomas Daddy Brahma. But yesterday, the eve to the SLF election, Rodney Michael as well withdrew her candidature because it was widely believed that it will have been a tight contest between Rodney Michael and as well Sadiq Binyako. So after Rodney Michael withdrew yesterday, it is widely believed that going into the contest today, Sadiq Binyako is the favorite going into the contest. But Rodney Michael as well apologized to his supporters yesterday because, mind you, he said he was having an issue. Of course, the ethics committee disqualified him. Several other issues, which was levied against him. So he felt dissatisfied. He channeled his concern to the highest body, that's the Court of Arbitration for Sport. He even risked his integrity, his reputation, and according to him, spent huge money to seek justice. And in the process, we saw a press release from the Court of Arbitration, declaring him eligible to contest. Because that was the cloud moment of it all. Because
Paul, sorry for cutting you there. My guest here uphold the view that, it's in their words, and one of them, that the president, the current president, may have smelled the rats. In other words, she may have actually smelled defeat. So perhaps that's why she had to, withdraw her candidature. And better still, some of the quarters believe that in fact the current president has gotten a sour relationship already with the football stakeholders, and she foresees that they will not cooperate. They will not cooperate with her if she wins the election. So
that is no hidden
do you uphold the same view with my guest here?
That is no hidden secret at the time. Madam Aisha Johansen lost, huge part of the delegate, which maybe she was advised to step down because looking at the roles she has attained in FIFA CAF, a council member in FIFA, still wanting to battle it out here locally because they are manned in football administration in the world, of which Sierra Leone is part of. So how can you come? People, it has to be a democratic process. So some are saying it was maybe she thought she saw this coming. Maybe all the rest. But so many are thanking her for a job well done. At least, no matter how bad she was, there are still pointers you can say Aisha Johansen did. Although her administration were marred by several irregularities and controversies. So today is the contest. The ground is well prepared. The place is well jam-packed. Well jam.
But do you foresee a fair and credible election at McKinney for the SLF presidency?
Well, that is what we all are craving for, because the sports minister, when we engaged him yesterday, he said this is what they want to see, a democratic process, and of course, as a minute, although in football as well, they are still warning against government interference, because football is not like anything. The governance structure and football as well, government provide the oversight role, but you don't have to interfere.
So has there been any case of government interference at all in the past regimes?
In any way.
Before now?
That similar thing happened before now, and they are still warning, for government to stay off the election and allow a free and credible election. So what we might care...
Are the people at all, being privy to interference by the government, or they have been seeing it before happening?
Well,
what is it?
They are well optimistic that, this will not happen this time around.
Has it been happening, Paul, before? As a sport journalist?
Government interference?
Yeah.
Of course. That is no hidden secret. It has been everywhere. So, and the delegates are planning, are getting themselves set for, the Congress to start at the moment from now.
Okay.
We are at the Congress. Security is watertight. The place is well secured.
Okay.
Police and military personnel. And the candidates as well are here with full supporters, although only the delegates, 57 delegates.
Sorry, we lost Paul there. We can continue with him. Already we are running out of time, and we're behind schedule now for this program. And we are sorry we cannot continue the rest of the stories we should have looked into. And but then continue following this show every week on Saturday at 9 a.m. And surely my guests will be here and to give their independent and exhaustive view on the stories making the news on the radio and newspaper every week. Again, the program is News Review on this radio 97.7 Radio News Song. And now I will join my guest to give their wrap-up messages and you heard from the stories we have discussed so far, and just now what Paul has said. But I will just give you 1 minute each for your wrap-up messages.
All right. It is expected that every responsible institution has a constitution.
Okay.
That one I know, and I may want to question the tenure of the presidency of SLAJ, because Paul clearly said that 8 years now. Am I correct? Slaffer, eh?
Yes,
8 years now. So I want to know if that is constitutional. Yeah, somebody in that particular position for 8 good years. Both of them have withdrew their candidature.
Yeah.
Right. The one that makes the news is Mr. Michael.
Okay.
Because Mr. Michael has been seriously pursuing this particular position. So at this 11th hour, withdrawing his candidature, it makes news. Yeah. And again, Paul rightly said that Madam Johansen has assumed a national position. Am I correct?
International.
FIFA international position. So to me, I want to play the devil's advocate here. The madam is not here, but because of magnanimity, so she has now assumed that particular international position. So she wants to give chance to.
Why would you say magnanimity?
Because she's now at that international level. Is this one not at what national level?
Yeah.
Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
And I heard Paul say FIFA. Is it FIFA? So somebody holding on to two positions, it has to question effectiveness and what efficiency. So to me, she's so magnanimous that let me let's go.
I get to make her get this person.
Let's go this one.
No, but if you use the word magnanimity, that's the reason why I said, why would you say so?
Because she wants to let's go, and she's so fair enough. She's just expressing that gesture. Coming to the alleged undue interference of the government. Yesterday we were at the coronation field. We had this friendly football match. Because we have our annual general meeting. It's going to end tonight. So we are there. Somebody was just discussing, like this name came up, this Kofi name, and then Nyako, and then the person said this man was unable to organize a game between Ahmadiyya and what. So where do we expect him to what? To provide leadership. I'm not trying to carry him down, but because I've told you in the first place that I am not Gameson, but the person said it, and the person is a stakeholder in terms of soccer, and again talking about
the incompetence of somebody,
alma mater connections. Blah 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 and all the rest of it. So I want to stop there. But
thank you, Problem.
It has that connection.
Yes, Joseph, your wrap-up message, please.
My beat will be: the Minister of Health needs to come back to the drawing table and rethink the 100 years provision.
I think we need to make this clear.
What we are saying,
not say to happen. If the number remains,
in fact, the condition should not be.
The number remains at 50. Now he is proposing. No, he's a new minister, right?
What we are saying,
he's a new man.
Yeah, what about?
He said he is now proposing 200 training of 200 doctors by a year.
That is his proposal, and it's a policy statement. What we are saying, let us have a strong action that will see us having in the next 5 years 1,000 trained doctors. If he's saying 200, that is what we are saying.
Talk about quality,
and that is what we are saying. If he is proposing 200, means by 5 years we'll have got 1,000, and if he's talking about 200, means quality trained doctors, medical doctors, not those ones that will administer drugs. You say, I am suffering from common cold, and he or she will come and give you something that is different from what, But what equally we are saying in the issue around corruption, we can win the fight against corruption if we all come together in, moving away from politics, moving away from party ideology, and moving straight for national, strength and national benefit.
Okay, Joseph, thank you so much. And that's all we have time for in today's program, News Review on Radio News Song 97.7 in Bo, and on our Facebook page, Radio News Song Live. This program brings stories that are aired on this radio from Monday to Friday, and our guests coming from different walks of life who exhaustively discuss stories aired on this radio. And now, thank you for being part of the program. Should you miss parts of all of the program, you can tune in today at 8 p.m. for a repeat broadcast of the program News Review. My guests have been Joseph Dominic Blackie. He is the Public Relations Officer of the Civil Society Organization, Bo District. Probably John Nubuke Favor Air Alpha is the station manager of Radio News Song Kono. And he's the progenitor of this program. My producer has been Pastor Daniel Van. The technical support was provided by Ahmed Toronka and Paul Kamara. My name, Alusain Rogers. Goodbye and do have a blessed weekend.
Flowing with milk and honey. If I go to the white man's land, they ask me about my home, I will always say you can hold